Karelian News Service, coming to you live from the Pagan Faith Room at the Parliament of World Religions. And today, at this moment, I'm with Elder Lady Amber Dawn of the Covenant of the Goddess, who is a high priestess with the Covenant of the Goddess. Welcome.
Thank you.
So, tell us a little bit. What is the Covenant of the Goddess?
Well, it's a organization primarily of Wiccans and witches that's been around since the 70s, 75, if I'm corrected, and all the way up to now. It's uh, it's for all Wiccan and witch faiths. Doesn't matter if you practice something different like Santeria or Voodoo like I do, or Strega or Druid. Um, we all we all come from the goddess, as they say.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a good blend of a lot of different individuals.
Excellent. Thank you very much. So, tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you mentioned that you practice Voodoo? What is that?
As part of the one of the African traditional religions, or ATR. Um, Here at the Parliament, there's a Mambo J that's going to be teaching. She has a booth upstairs near the spiritual play date. And Voodoo in itself came out of Benin back in the days of slavery. You know, when the Europeans, I hope I could say Europeans, when the Europeans took my ancestors out of Haiti and out of Africa, uh, we didn't stop our religion. We just had it more underground to the point where we were using candles and herbs and incense and things of that nature to call upon the Loa, which the most famous one, which pretty much everybody knows, is Baron blah, 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 blah. Can we stop?
No, we're live. We're live. That's okay. It's understandable.
Baron Semidi, so the Lord of Day. So he's the most famous, but there's also the Israelis, Frida, which is the fair maiden, all dressed in pink. La Serene, which is the mermaid, and Dator, which is the ball buster. So I know those really short descriptions, but everybody knows when you say the pretty girl, everybody knows the pretty girl. When you say the mermaid, everybody knows the mother of the fish. And when you say the ball buster, everybody knows the ball buster. So
Thank you. That's actually a great way. It's a great way of describing it. So, I understand that you have a project that you're working on within the Covenant of the Goddess. Can you please talk a little bit about that?
sure. Well, they have done statements since the George Floyd murder a couple years ago, um, that are representative of the minorities that are coming into COG, myself and other people that came before me, and those that are going to come after me. And I didn't like what was said, or and apparently a lot of other people didn't like it either. So I asked if I could rewrite it, and you know, so I'm in the process of rewriting their Black Lives Matter slash diversity statement, and not only to clarify it for COG, but to also encourage minorities to come into COG, you know, just as you are, because what's happening now, which I don't know if you're noticing it, or Karelians are noticing it, or Fellowship of ISIS or COG. There are minorities coming in, a lot coming in. When I started almost 30 years ago, I could remember when it was just me and maybe another Black woman, or maybe two Black women, and that will be it. And now, just being here, and I've been here since Sunday, I've seen not only more blacks at the parliament, I also see more um, minority representation uh, in a whole in witchcraft, Judaism, and other forms of the occult. So, and we need to have a focus on the future as opposed to what was happening in the past. Because you can't really grow if you're still complaining about the past or you're still using past um, mores. Uh, you have to go into the future. So that's I'm trying to take cog into the future.
So you're working on expanding who they are and how they practice.
Yes, yes.
So I understand that with uh, more blacks coming in, I actually came from a tradition in New York City where it was the person in charge was a woman of color, and she, you know, beautiful woman. She really is. Reverend Star Ravenhawk.
Oh, I know Star. She's one of my Facebook friends. Yes, yes.
I didn't know if I could mention her. You know, she's of the Wiccan Family Temple. I was part of that and helped to organize that, and she's very big within the Black community. And growing up, because when she first became a witch, it was very difficult.
Very difficult.
So please tell me about your experiences with that.
Okay. Well, like I said, I started about 30 years ago um, with Pammy, which is part of your tradition, when I lived in Baltimore. But I actually started in Harrisburg when my deceased father came to visit me on the day he died. And I was not aware that he was already dead by the time he visited me. And we had this long conversation. And all of a sudden, he's like, I died an hour ago. And, I'm like, yeah, don't kid a kidder. And that's not what I said. But that's what happened. And then they had called me and they told me I had to witness the body. And I'm like, what body? And there's my dad laying there with his eyes open. And, I told everybody, I just saw him an hour ago. And I said, that's not possible. He's been dead for hours. So I knew then that there was something to this, but I didn't know what it was. So I basically started with Silver Raven Wolf because she lives in Dillsburg and I lived in Harrisburg, which is my hometown, and then went from there. But from the back in 1993 to now, I've been involved in not only COG, but the Fellowship of ISIS. That was my home coven. FOI Chicago actually is my home coven. And so it's coming back home, me being here. And Circle Sanctuary, I'm real good friends with Selena Fox and a little bit of Calurian with through Pam and Phoenix and Don Lewis and Lori Blackman. So
We're very proud of all of them, and especially the fact that Lord Phoenix is now taking over as the first priest.
yeah, and I'm really excited. Besides me being excited, becoming an elder almost after 25 years, I'm really excited about Phoenix taking over. Uh, and I don't mean that no, the blacks are taking over, but it was because we are no. Uh, but it's good to see. Um, besides myself, and him to recognize that we've been in the public for, well, myself, 30 years. I don't know how long Phoenix has been in the public, but we're being recognized now and we're leading now. And that's what we actually need to take witchcraft or Wicca forward into the future. We need blacks, we need Hispanics, we need all minorities, and we also need white people into the ATRs, which is the African traditional religions. And they are in Santeria. There are some in Sudan, and it's not voodoo. Voodoo is like the Hollywood movies, smoke and mirrors, that kind of nonsense. Sudan is the religion. And now there's some like Akan and Ifa that don't allow non-African people, and there's reasons for that. But I say the more the merrier. How we're going to really know how to lead the planet if we don't have other experiences like white people trying to uh, walk into a minority space and be the only white person there, which, to be frank, would freak a lot of white people out. And so, when I started back in '93, I was, like I said, either the only black or one of two. And that was really frightening back then because you didn't know who was um, a nice person, who was a racist or a supremacist or whatever. So it's time for the racists to all come together as one and work together to save this planet, because this planet is dying and we're going to die with it if we don't start changing.
I totally agree with that, 100%. So, what do you see moving forward for yourself?
Well, I want to start. I have my own temple, which is called the Temple of the Lotus Pyramid, and I want to start getting. Um, we have about 20 people now. I want to see that growing. I know we don't prophesize, but I still want to see that growing. And part of this interview, in my eyes, is to start, yeah, getting it out there, and some.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes. How can we connect with you?
Okay. Um, I'm on Facebook under Janice White, or Janice R. White, more like it. Um, uh,
How do you spell that?
G as in goddess, Enise R White, White. Also, my email address is Lotus Pyramid, and I have a radio show, which is why I know a little bit of what you're doing, called World Reggae Party, and I have a page on Facebook about that. And Goddess Janice, I have a page about that. So the basic, if you don't email me, check me out on Facebook.
And tell me a little bit about the Lotus Temple.
Okay, well, it started as a FOI temple, excuse me, which is Fellowship of Isis. We study everything, but but what the primary focus is on Egypt. So, so, um, so we based on Egyptian gods.
So it's the Egyptian pantheon.
Yes, yes, and a little bit of the Kemetic, because Kemet is the original name for Egypt. A lot of people don't know that, but that's the original name for Egypt. So I'm going to teach people about the Kemet philosophy and their gods, which most people, Isis, which is Aset, Osiris, which is Asur, um, Heru, no, Horus, Heru, Sekhmet, Mut, Beset, Bes, um, Sophic, which the Field Museum, just named their crocodile statue. I heard it on the news this morning after Sopek, which I thought, oh, cool. So
Who is that? Who is Sopek?
he is the alligator god of Egypt. Um, he's a healer, so he will help you heal, but you have to watch out for his bite.
Is that the one that works with Ma'at, who's weighing the favor?
Sometimes, yes, and he's fully green. You know, Anubis can show up as being fully green. Osiris can also show up as being fully green, but that's part of the representation of Earth. as Earth being green and full of love and harmony and healing. That's I'm going to be. Oh, Uh, so sorry. Um, so yes, so Sobek, like I said, it's going to be the new display at the Field Museum.
That sounds beautiful. And it's great to be recognized, seeing out, all the statuary out there and things like that. And knowing that they have named them after the ancient gods. That's excellent.
That is so excellent.
Yeah.
Yes.
So keep going. Okay. Huh? Oh, okay. And thank you so much, Lady. Just one second, Lady Amber, for the interview, and I really appreciate that. And good luck with all that you do in with your projects. And this has been Arlene Freed, Reverend Arlene Freed of the Corellian News Service, and at the Parliament of World Religions. And what am I looking at? Oh, hi, and thank you so much. Hmm?
Blessed be.
Blessed be. And thank you, Mary. Back to you. Huh? Oh, what? Oh, hi, Ed. Bye, Ed.
Uh, so I hope I did well because
You did
I had
excellent.
like brain farts.
And I appreciate you coming to us.
uh,
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
thank you.
Huh? Okay, we're dead. We're done? No, we're not done.
We're not done. Okay.
Sorry, we're live, so th- okay. All right, so what do you need? So so back to you guys. What do I need to do? Sorry. Oh, we can't hear you guys. So